It's a stone, Luigi. You didn't make it.
It's a football! I chiseled it!
Well, what are you waiting for? Throw me a pass!
It's even official size! But not official weight!
Hey, you've just thrown me a great idea!
Super Mario, Super Mario, Super Mario World.
Super Mario World was a show from the past. And if you're thinking it's good, well, you'll be sorry you asked. Delfino and the Peach here are watching what they can. The budget was $2 and a piece of ham.
Super Mario World.
Super Mario World, it just looks like ass. The Supershow Saga, it's a gas!
Y'all ain't upside down like I am.
That's okay. I mean, you might be upside down, but
Craig.
you are awake on time.
I was awake on time. Not
I didn't
anymore.
call you to
I don't
wake
know why I
up.
said. I don't know why I said was.
I was like, man, it's nice outside. I could go for a walk. And then it's like, oh, wait, we're recording tonight. Oops.
Hey, when are we recording, Delfino?
Delfino?
Too late.
Delfino.
Delfino, the podcast! Go to sleep for 5 minutes, wake me up when the podcast needs to be done. Delfino the pod! That's what happened. Well, we can't keep the chat for much long, but today's biggest news was that finally my hunt and search for a Krabbin is complete in Fire Emblem Heroes. I have
Oh,
been
boy.
dying and agonizing for Valentine's Day Crom. And like before physics class started, I'm like, let's just do a few snipe pulls for red. Blah blah blah. Hinata. Oh, there's 2 in this one. First one's a dud, and the second one happens, and I look down at the screen. I'm like, oh, finally!
I got somebody today. I don't remember.
Was it Fallen Celica?
Well, that was definitely one that happened, because I had this uncanny ability whenever Fallen Celica has a banner, I always pull her.
Why do you aim for the red?
Because it's funny.
Okay.
I have at least 5 now.
Wow. I don't have a single one. But it happened, and I'm like, I can now save money. I can save my orbs until the Tokyo Mirage Sessions banner. And I told someone in a Heroes server, and they're like, that's good, because the next Tokyo Mirage Sessions banner won't be until 2077.
Boo.
Like, I guess I'm just forever hoarding now.
You'll be a cyborg when that drops.
I know. Either way, we've got to get a move on. Because today, we're gonna go in with a plan with this episode. Peach?
We got teamwork.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Because
Or at least makes a football.
it's not a football.
It's a stone, Luigi. You didn't make it.
But I chiseled it.
Chisel.
The football! I chiseled it!
We've all said the line,
Oh my
welcome to the Super Show Saga featuring me, Delfino Durians.
I, Peach Supreme.
And returning guest Mettadox.
Whoa! That's me! Holy
Yeah,
shit.
What was the last episode you were on?
The color one.
Yeah, True Colors.
True
Ah.
colors.
Well, this
That
one's
was-
a lot better.
That was a topic.
Another cheatsy episode.
Which
Yes.
it's crazy to say that, because on the long run, most of these Super Mario World episodes aren't nearly as good as the Mario 3 ones, but in that case, this is definitely a better episode.
I believe so, yes. Although, this episode to me just felt weird. Like,
It was
isn't
very
written
surreal.
like the other
disjointed.
episodes. Yeah. And I've got an explanation for that, because today's episode is, of course, the Yoshi Shuffle, which is a joke
Shuffle.
on
The Yoshi Shuffle.
the Cupid Shuffle,
That's
apparently.
not a joke on the Cupid
Down,
Shuffle.
down, do your babe, do your babe.
It's a joke on... Oh, God, I'm gonna butcher this. Disclaimer coming out here. I don't know anything about football.
Me
man.
either.
All I know is that this episode is based on a football player that his
signature
celebratory
move?
dance was called the whatever his name was Shuffle.
Okay.
And so like it's the move that Yoshi does in the middle of the episode where he like does the moonwalk and like they're doing the dance. His big thing was whenever he would get a touchdown, he would do the shuffle at the end, and they were all like, "Whoa!"
That's his thing.
And that is football knowledge with Peach. Random football fact number 2: the football was created in when did this show come out? 1991 by Luigi. And it was even official size.
But it was not
Not
official
official
weight. So very sad. I mean, I've got a little football knowledge. I always think to how you can cheat in football, like the Replacements movie, where football just, they break it back and forth. The Replacement movie, even if you're not a fan of football, that's just a good movie, because it's like a whole rogues gallery of people. It's like, all right, you guys are professional football players. And they look at their new coach and they're like, I'm David Bowie, or I kind of look like him. I'm not here to play football. It's like they look over and there's a sumo wrestler and they're like, how is he going to play football with all of us weirdos? And like, we're going to make it work. It's like, I think they get a deaf guy and they're like, he's going to be on the team too. We're out of people. We need anybody.
Really scraping the bottom of the barrel, huh?
It was. It's a fun movie. And also it's a fun movie because the lead guy, his last name is Lombardi. So you'll see the words Lombardi like everywhere because it's on the back of his jersey and they mention him by his last name.
And we all
It's
go,
like,
Falco!
it's Falco! But it's not Falco. Either way. Mettadox, do you have any football knowledge or are you just as clueless as we are?
The closest thing I know about to American football is like isn't it like close to what rugby is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's I know they're different because it's called
closer
gridiron.
to rugby than soccer.
Yeah. Because you're
Which
using
is
your
the
hands.
definition of football.
It's closer to Australian rules than soccer. It's not hard to be closer to American rules than soccer.
What about Australian football?
Australian football is still very different. I don't quite know how to explain it, but there's a lot more running and kicking.
Okay.
Instead
There's
of
a lot
running
more
and
foot
tackling.
action.
There's a lot more
In the
actual
football.
using of the foot.
Okay.
Like,
And not the
I don't know what they
upper
call it
body.
football over there. Yeah. You know, they don't slam into each other. They they still kind of do, but like not as bad.
So is it
They
more like
s- they
flag
just kick it.
football?
I don't know what that is. I'm sorry.
Okay, flag football, aka football for losers, which is of course my favorite football because it requires the least amount of tackling, is basic football rules, but instead of tackling somebody, you've got like little, not sweatbands, but you got little towels around your waist because you're wearing a belt. And then if somebody grabs that, it's like, up, you're out. So if they can reach you, it's like they grab that, and it's like, that'll stop you, and they won't slam you to the ground, giving you a concussion.
Right. Okay. No, there is still tackling. In at least the professional and like older kids divisions, but it's not as violent. The most tackling that you'll get in Aussie rules is just they'll grab you and pull you to the ground.
Okay.
That is a loud train.
I'm really close to the train tracks this year. Honk. Anyways. Oh, I had something on my mind, but the train distracted me. I forgot about it.
I would say, out of all of the Super Mario World episodes, I think this would be the second memeiest episode.
Memeiest?
Because this episode has quite a few memes that
second only to Mama Luigi.
Second only to Mama Luigi, which
Mama
is just
Luigi.
an entire 13 minutes worth of memes.
It's true. Yeah, it's just a lot of one-liners in this episode.
Rock TV has a lot of good lines. And
There's a good of lines.
A Little Learning has its own lines that people drag from, but like, I hear It's a Football all the time.
Eggman and Eggface.
Like, I watch this episode as a Super Bowl tradition every year.
Egghead.
I don't think did we do that this year?
I
don't
didn't do
think-
it this year because I was preparing for this episode, so I
That's
didn't watch it in
Talking about
preparation.
this, what's this? This is the Super
Although
Bowl.
the Super Bowl was like last weekend, so it's close
Yeah,
enough.
we were close.
It was weird
it
that
kind
the
of
Olympics
worked
were
out.
happening at the same time as the Super Bowl.
Yeah, how have
Oh,
you
yeah.
been feeling about the Olympics?
They're over?
They are?
I didn't realize
Yeah.
that they were on.
Well,
I forgot.
I was stuck in this weird time period where it felt like they were going on forever, but at the same time it feels like they just started. And I'm like, what happened? Where'd the
Was it-
Olympics go?
it's an even year. Where were they? It definitely was because Tokyo got pushed back so much that when Tokyo finally happened, it was a big moment. And then when they're like, and also Beijing, which we are not postponing and is coincidentally in like 6 to 9 months. And it's like, okay, I'm out Olympicked. I need a
Yeah.
whole
A
2
lot of
years
the
to
American channels
recharge.
just played a lot of the same stuff, and they're like, if you want the good stuff, you gotta get our streaming apps or whatever.
Pay
and I'm just
money.
Ugh.
I'm
Gross.
like, I
not
just
doing
want to watch
that.
curling. Where
So
was my
wrong.
curling?
The curling.
Where's the biathlon?
Mom was very complaining that it's like there's not enough cool figure skating stuff. It's always just the alpine or the ski. It's like skateboarding but with skis, where you try and get that air time or something.
I was watching the moguls,
Was it the
which
moguls?
is like the bending your knees down like the boop boop boop. I don't know.
Is that the one where you have to like aim to hit the
Where
flags?
there's a bunch of like little tiny hills, and so it's like a big
Oh,
Plinko
okay.
machine.
Okay, so it's like cross country kind of.
Mhm.
Okay. I mean, it's all well and good. I think there were some new Olympic sports this year too. The
Probably.
bullet bill bobsled, but with like one person instead of a 4-person team.
They've
like
always
it
had a
usually is.
monobob.
They always have. I heard that
Yeah,
was
there's
new.
a monobob, a duo bob, and a 4-person bob.
Okay. What about the skeleton? That's the one
Well,
where it's like
the skeleton's like the luge. With luge, it's that you're riding on a sled with your feet first, and with skeleton, you're riding on a sled with your face first. Much more
God.
terrifying.
Oh, the skeleton is the one where you can just easily break your neck and die.
And
Yes.
die instantly. Much like you can in football, which this also reminds me of the funny joke that people make about American football players, which is like, what was it? The Teen Titans Go movie where Cyborg wanted to be a pro-American football player and then in 5 to 10 years get into a serious accident that'll leave him retired at age 25 to 30, and then he'll have to spend all his money making stuff on reality TV shows and dance-offs. And it's like, way to call out everybody who's ever been on Dancing with the Stars.
I mean, it's
Jesus
true.
Christ.
But it's true. Most of
It's
the
hilarious. That movie is hilarious.
who show
Teen
up
Titans Go
to the
kind
movies.
of wildin'. Jesus.
I'd say that was definitely that movie. It was the turning point where I went from, okay, I don't hate the series. In fact, I think it's fully developed its own like sense of self.
Mhm.
And it's really funny.
it's-
And the music is actually really good in the
The
movie.
music is fantastic. Like, I still
Mm.
listen to it.
It's the movie, my
My
very own
superhero
movie.
movie.
It's all about me. Yeah, it's all about me. That is
And I relate to Robin with my baby hands and my hatred of spicy foods.
I still haven't watched that movie.
It's worth it. It's also it's kind of a meta commentary on everybody needs their own movie. It's like the
Yeah.
Batman movie,
The
this
super
movie.
overabundance of superhero movies. And it's just like, ugh.
And it's like, and we got to get that star director to give you your movie, Robin. And Robin's like having to fight for it because nobody likes Robin because he's a loser. And he's
Right.
got baby hands. And he doesn't have superpowers like the other people. And it's a lot of him being like, how much of myself is tied to the Teen Titans? Because they're morons. I hate them. I want to be my own person, but he's not super special with his own superpowers without them.
Mm. No, I've heard good things about that movie.
Yeah.
It's definitely a bit of it's kind of whiplash going from people like shitting all over Teen
Oh,
Titans
yeah.
Go than watching the movie and
the
being like,
later
okay, that's
seasons
alright.
are when the series really came into its own. And by
Yeah.
the time they came out with the movie, it's like they'd found their niche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, by the time they did those 80s specials, The Night Begins to Shine, it's like, oh yeah, baby! That music
That was
is
really good.
grooving. Anyways, I keep getting distracted.
Yeah.
So the episode is
Kind
called
of like this episode.
The Football. Okay, it's called the Yoshi Shuffle, and it was written by Christoph Brown, which his name is spelled very peculiarly.
How's it
He
spelled?
sounds like a man who plays a lot of football.
It's Christoph. It's spelled exactly how it sounded. Usually, like Christopher.
With a K?
Yeah,
Or-
Kristofor. Christopher.
But Christopher.
Sorry,
Oh.
Christoph is the name of the guy in Frozen.
you're right. My
The
bad.
guy with the reindeer from Frozen, yeah.
The Iceman. Correct.
There's also Christoph Gavin from Ace Attorney, but that's
That's who
different.
I was thinking of. A tongue, baby. So, Christoph Brown, do any of you recognize that name, perchance? Okay, because he
No.
wrote this episode. This is like his first thing he ever really did. And then he was like, this is stupid. I hate writing for shows. And then he went into like, I don't know, a money-making spree for 10 years because he came back 10 years later and he produced a bunch of MTV shows, such as The Tom Green Show, Undeclared, Beavis and Butthead, and
Beavis
Kirby
and Butthead?
Buckets, which is not MTV.
Interesting.
What?
Beavis and Butthead? You're
Yes, he was the
shushing
lead
me.
producer for Beavis and Butthead.
Wow.
You know,
That's
given some of the character
ridiculous.
designs in this episode, I could see that.
It was very peculiar because I look him up, I'm like, this isn't the right guy, but I check into his writers section and it's like, yep,
Oh, that was
he
him.
did in fact write this.
Somehow.
He wrote the freaking Yoshi Shuffle.
He did some tiny other work, like he wrote a few episodes of Metalocalypse. Which
God,
is
now
an
I'm
Adult
just
Swim
thinking of
TV
this
show.
episode in the lens of Beavis and Butthead, and I'm like, you know, that kind of makes sense.
I think of it more in the Tom Green angle of
That
gross
too.
out.
It's just weird.
It's very weird. It's always funny with Wire in particular. We've been finding that the episodes are so weird, but when I get a little context into the writer, we all go, "Oh!" Like
Yeah.
that happened with Party Line.
Party Line, we're like, man, this episode's so weird. And then we're like, oh, wait, it was written by some 60-year-old man who had a grudge against telephones. And we're like, oh!
Yeah, that
Mario
makes
talked
sense.
about how everyone's
No wonder
turning into
Mario
phone
sounds like a
junkies.
disgruntled old man.
Either way, we gotta get started because we're starting the episode with Mario just supervising some cave people. I don't know what they're doing.
Can I just say,
The ugly cavemen are trying to build Stonehenge.
Yes, make modern art.
when I started watching this episode, literally like half an hour ago, mind you, I had to stop. I had to like pause it and just go,
And immediately process what you're viewing.
Is this Mario? Is this Mario? There was just some dumbass, goofy cavemen, guys.
Did
just
I send you
walking
the
around.
right video link?
They suck at putting down rocks.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
God, they've been doing this their whole lives. One of them has a rat tail.
Oh my god. Look, these
I
are
saw
these
that more of
creatures
like a mullet tail.
Well, he's
Are
got
these
a mullet,
creatures
and
that
then
have
he's got like the
appeared?
tail at the back, and I'm like, oh my god.
It's not a bona fide rat tail.
So we've seen different cave people designs throughout the show, but this is the
Sorry.
only time we see these three specific cave men.
Right. Okay.
I feel like
Because this
we've
episode's
seen-
about men. There's
You
not
know-
a single
Grown
lady
men
in this
playing
episode.
football.
You know what? You are correct. I don't think there was a single lady in this episode.
To be fair, the only ladies in the show are Toadstool and Wendy. So when they're not there,
And
there's a
a few
supreme lack
ladies
of
and
estrogen
people.
in
True.
this show.
No, there are female toads, aren't there? Or are there?
Well, the
Or they
toads
know.
don't appear in Mario World. It's all cave people.
Oh, because we're in Dinosaur Land, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They haven't
got you.
been invented yet.
Yeah. There's a few cave people that are
Yeah,
ladies,
okay.
but no one really predominated.
I just got
But the
really
ladies
confused
don't
because
play
I was like, what?
football.
I don't remember these guys from Mario World.
Yeah, they're just kind of made on the spot. A lot of what the show does is it
I
got
think
the
this
concept.
episode in particular is definitely one of those where you have to pause and gather your thoughts every once in a while. Like,
Yeah.
what is going
I
on?
paused a lot. I paused
What
a
am
lot
I
and took a lot of
watching?
notes.
This is it, Mario.
Just to take notes, like I paused a lot.
Oh
Just
yeah.
to write down funny joke. Because this episode got a few actual genuine laughs out of me.
It's
which
funny
is
how that happens.
quite rare. And when I heard that it was made by the same guy who produced Beavis and Butthead, I was like, right, okay.
Also,
that makes sense.
We're like closed or something.
we kept interrupting you. You were saying something as we were talking about the ugly cave people. I think it was that you just never known them before.
Yeah, no, I was like, have these guys appeared in a different episode that I just haven't seen, or did they just get created and
Maybe.
hideously thrown onto this episode?
Got some troglodytes.
It feels like they were a couple different
Troglodytes.
troglodytes. Wow.
That's my favorite word.
It feels like there were a
25
couple different storyboarders that all worked on this episode, and they didn't really communicate with each other very well because everything's very disjointed.
It's time is money,
So
and we don't have time to talk.
The first and probably most
crammed a lot
prolific
into 10 minutes.
storyboarder in this episode is the one that draws everybody like ugly Cabbage Patch Kids.
You know, I think we saw them before
they're all
in
like-
Fire Sale.
They're really stumpy and they got big heads, even Mario. And I'm just like, God, I hate
Remember
hate
them
it.
in Fire Sale? We saw a lot of them. It's like,
And there's
who
the
is this?
Mega Man artist that draws everybody looking like Mega Man characters.
Do you mean Mega Man as in Ruby
The
Spears
Mega Man.
Mega Man?
The one that came out around this time period.
The Mega Man cartoon with Guts
Mhm.
Man's butt.
Yes.
Okay. AKA X-Men action figures.
And then there's another one who's actually pretty decent at their job.
The only person who's actually making the pay. So this is all like happening. And definitely what happened with the series was they were told the concept of Mario World was it's Mario, but in dinosaur. Like there's
It's
more
Mario,
dinosaurs.
but Flintstones.
Which therefore means, oh, there's gotta be cave people too. Like there just
There's
have to
gotta
be.
be.
If you've got dinosaurs, you've got cave people. You just have to.
Did these guys even... Do you think they even played the game?
Some of them, yes. Some of
Or do you
them,
think
no.
they saw like, screenshots of the map and was like, yeah, cavemen?
I don't even think they saw
On one hand,
screenshots.
I feel like they got a Japanese copy of the instruction manual, so they know what stuff looks like. They don't know what anything's named. We just got
Correct.
Koopa wizards, Koopa football players,
Caterpillars.
caterpillars. I don't know.
Doodidleys.
Yoshi is Yoshi.
Yoshi stays as Yoshi, or as we should say, Yoshi.
Wahoo!
Because I'm never gonna live that
Yoshi.
down.
Yosh. I don't know how to pronounce it anymore.
Oh,
ever since
Yoshi.
that episode.
Yoshi!
Since I listened to
Doing
that
it
episode.
again.
Pooing
I
all
don't-
over the bloody carpet.
Anyway, speaking of Yoshi, he runs in with Luigi
Yoshi.
here.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
he's so excited to tell Mario about what he's invented.
Yeah.
Mario, look what I made! It's a stone, Luigi. You didn't make it.
It's a football! I chiseled it!
I chiseled it. It's even official size.
And Mario's like, throw it
Throw
at
me
me!
it down! Just throw it
And
to me
Luigi
right now!
just reels back and chucks it straight at him.
Wow, I've got a gif of that
Fucking
somewhere.
guys.
Not official weight.
Official weight, though.
And I love how Mario's not even mad. He's like,
It's
football!
like, oh,
yeah,
right.
this is what I needed. I think Luigi hit him in the head a little too hard.
He got a concussion.
Didn't expect that joke to be as funny as it was.
It's a football!
Like,
I
it
chiseled
actually was pretty funny.
You didn't make it.
You
The
didn't make it.
sing-songiness helps
You
it a
didn't
lot.
make it.
Like they've had to go through this before. Come on, Luigi.
Mario, I made this. It's a stick, Luigi. You didn't make it.
That just reminds me of the Jackbox when we were playing the
Match.
Dis or Dat with what was in the National Toy Hall of Fame. It was like stick. Stick is in the Hall of Fame, and then one of our friends, Sushi, just couldn't get over it, and they're like, Stick? Stick! Why is
Stick.
Stick in the Hall of Fame?
With that one, I was just like, what sounds stupid enough that it would totally be in the Hall of Fame? Stick.
But not Bag of Dirt, 'cause you can't
Not
play
bag
many.
of dirt.
I mean, even rocks could be in the Hall of Fame. If you just dig little
Pretty
rivets into the
famous.
ground, you could make
You draw a
Moncala
face
with
on
that.
it, like a pet rock, something like that.
There
I
you
don't know.
go. Either way, Mario also soliloquizes to himself earlier that these cave people really need to learn about organization and teamwork, because when I think of organization and teamwork, I think of football.
You know, the game where you all run into each other in tights.
Yeah, and then you
Yeah.
get into petty fights, and then the coaches in their like $1 million suits and their Rolex watches or whatever
Everything's
just
rigged.
sit and look judgmental in the corners. Or is that basketball where you would get more suited coaches? Maybe it's more basketball.
I think
Where you
it's
would
more
get that.
basketball.
Yeah, where you get them like just sitting there all prim and proper.
Mhm.
I gotta
Anyway.
switch locations
Yeah.
so we can keep
Oh, no.
talking while I'm moving.
Okay. So, I could say all these lines from memory.
I could. This episode is great.
But it's really great.
It's a
So
good
Mario's like,
episode.
hey, you know what? We can use football as a learning opportunity to talk about like organized plans and how we can work as a team to get something done, which makes enough sense. Meanwhile, they're getting spied upon by Cheatsy and Bully Koopa, and oh boy,
You know, this really lends credence to our theory that Cheatsy has been AWOL for the whole series until now.
because he is 110%.
He has
into
not been in
this.
any episodes until this one, until these last 3, where he's been super
Yeah.
important in all of them. And it's like,
Mm.
okay.
So our theory is that in Gopher Bash, Cheatsy is appointed to spy on Luigi as he's growing a garden. And growing a garden takes a while. So we theorize that the first part of the Gopher Bash episode happened like at the beginning of the series, and Cheatsy is just being camped at his Heidi Rock, watching that garden grow. Just waiting. And now that he's
Jesus.
free from the garden, he's like, I'm so behind on my
I got
evil
so much
quota.
cheating I gotta do.
I've gotta be as evil as physically possible in these last few episodes. So Cheatsy's just all about it. He'll tell anything to his dad. He'll tell them that the Mario brothers are playing football.
They're playing football, Dad. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
kid.
Dad, they're playing football.
We gotta stop him.
What does
American
playing-
or European?
I don't know. I'll go back and check.
The good
He's
one or
American,
the good one?
Dad.
He just wants to snitch so bad, but there's nothing to snitch about.
He's just a little shit.
He's
That's
just
He's just a little shit.
he wants to trade information, even though that information isn't useful at all.
He wants to be bad. He wants to be so
He-
bad. He bleached his hair and everything.
I thought he
He's-
was enlightened. He achieved enlightenment
Oh,
after
right. He
watching the
achieved
cross.
enlightenment like
Hey,
Violet. That's what it was.
He is violent.
Whoa, spoiler. No. Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say.
What were we
Never mind.
going to?
Anyway,
Either
the
way.
thing that surprises me most about this episode is that Yoshi
Mhm.
does not immediately eat the football like he has with every other thing they've attempted.
Yoshi has been properly
create.
trained.
They finally trained him not to eat everything in sight.
Because at the beginning of the series, Yoshi was just eating anything that he could get within tongue reach. And now it's
Including
like
the ground.
he'll ask permission now before he does it, or he just won't do it as much. Good
Maybe after
on
Rock TV,
Yoshi.
he got a
Got him.
certification.
Yeah, he's like,
They're
I
training
need
him.
to
No more
lay
rocks.
back. No more ground. That's no
I didn't
good.
realize that Yoshi needed to be trained.
Well,
I thought
he's
he was
very much-
sentient.
We had to potty train him.
He is, in fact, a baby. Some episodes really emphasize that Yoshi is baby. Yeah, he's only like
Wait,
a
How
few
old is
months
he?
old.
only a few months.
I don't know how time works in
Because
this
he
show.
hatches
Jesus Christ.
in the Mama Luigi episode. That's when
Yeah.
he's born.
Oh my gosh.
So
So it's been ever since the Mario
Jesus.
came to Cave Land or whatever.
we say baby. I say baby as an interchangeable word for child.
Let's just say he's
He
still
is
at the
very
age where you
small.
would count his age in months instead of years.
Probably. And he's
Yeah.
also like, he's kind of like an animal where they grow to full size in less than a year. And it's like, you ask how old they are, and it's like, oh yeah, they're 9 months, but they look humongous.
He's physically mature, not
horse-like.
emotionally mature.
Yeah.
Where with horses, it's like most of them race in their first and second year, and they're like fully grown and everything else. And it's like, but they're only 1 or 2 years old. It's just the prime opportunity. And this was also the horse Yoshi era. We got to
Oh yeah.
more humanoid Yoshi era, Mario World 2 and onwards.
Yeah, he looked very weird to me.
Yeah.
Because
he's
of
got
that, because like I didn't grow up with like Mario World and stuff. I grew up with like
me either.
But
grew
he's
up
got
with
the
new
design where
suit.
he's got the big torso and the like shorter, stumpier arms that
He
are
looks like
closer
T-Rex. Yeah,
to his bottom.
he looks like
Yeah.
a round, soft Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah. And then very quickly in Yoshi's Island, we changed that from more horse-like to just like a more humanoid design with a saddle on the back. Yoshi. Yeah, I mean, we never even grew up with Horse Yoshi either. I think our first Mario game was Mario Party 7, and Yoshi did not look like a horse in that
Yeah.
game. So, you know, things worked out.
My first Mario game was New Soup on the DS, so
Ooh.
I didn't even... I knew about Yoshi, but like I never played a game with Yoshi in it until
We had Mario Party
New Super
7
Wii.
and Supershow Saga.
Oh yeah! Although you got a lot farther in that game than I did.
I didn't get to the Yoshis until much later.
You didn't even
Although
get to
the Yoshis in that game are adorable.
Where would you always get stuck?
I got stuck in Teehee Valley.
Is that the desert or
It's
is
the one where
that-
you have to do the escort mission for Princess Peach. through
Right,
the desert.
that's the desert one.
She would just
Okay.
keep getting kidnapped, and I was insanely underleveled, and I was just like, I can't do it.
I'm not...
We're talking about a Mario game?
I
It's
suck.
like an RPG.
Yeah, it's Mario
It is.
Superstar Saga.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
It's okay.
That's
It is funny in that game where
yeah,
Toadstool's
Mario and
like,
Luigi.
or Peach, like, you know what, Mario, I'm fine. I can be trusted even if you don't look at me for 3 seconds. And then you don't look at her for 3 seconds.
Immediately
and
kidnapped.
immediately kidnapped. It's like, maybe
my
she's just
God.
emits a kidnapping aura. Like, everybody has to steal her. Either way,
Yeah.
Yoshi says he's got his cute little tick also in this show that he'll make little fun monikers for words. He goes, hickety, huckety, hike. When he's about to hike
Yeah,
the
there's
ball.
a lot of football lingo in this episode that
Yeah,
I don't know,
heard-
flies right over my head.
Heard him yelling hike, and I'm like, what? Why are you going on
Hike
a,
is
a
where
long
you
walk in the
throw the
mountains?
ball
What?
backwards and then you throw it
Yeah.
again. I don't.
It's where
I'm
it's
really
when you
It's
comfortable.
start
weird.
the
It's
play.
so weird. Yeah, that's. I figured as much. I gathered that just from like putting 2 and 2 together. But
Yeah.
I just love the next line read of Mario where he sounds. It's like that scene from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory
also
where he
thinking
goes,
about,
"No,
it's
stop,
Willy
come
Wonka and the
back.
Chocolate Factory
Yeah.
with Gene Wilder.
No, Yoshi, come back.
No, Yoshi, stop, please.
Oh no, he's
enthusiastic.
running
No.
into the woods. Oh well.
Oh no.
oh
So
shit!
also, Mario's not really the best football teacher because
He's not the best
He's pretty-
teacher in general.
He's
all
not the
he's
greatest
really taught
teacher,
people
no.
to do is to tackle each
each other.
other and to get a touchdown, which to Yoshi
Yeah.
is like a place. Get to the touchdown.
Get to touchdown.
Go to touchdown.
Yoshi will go to touchdown.
And then he goes past touchdown. He goes very much past touchdown.
They just are running and having fun at this point.
Well, Yoshi
Point
punched
of
the
the
ball so far, and Luigi's like, "Oh my gosh, let me go get it."
Well, it's that
Okay.
Yoshi does the smart thing, which is that he doesn't use his arms because he's got wimpy arms, and instead he uses his like mouth power to fling
Yeah.
the ball. And then Luigi's like, "I'm gonna get it! I'm gonna get it!" Like he's just
I got
running
it, I got it, I
backwards,
got it, and then
How
he keeps
fun.
running.
slams into somebody. Which honestly, I relate to a lot where it's like you just get so distracted on looking at the thing and you run into somebody on the field. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that happened to me all the time as a kid.
Yep.
I used to play Australian rules football, and I did that all the time.
You aren't aware of your surroundings.
I never get the ball.
That's because you crash into somebody.
I think in my like few years of playing it as a kid, mind you, I was only like 10, 11.
Yeah.
I got like one goal. I kicked one goal in my entire time.
I mean, that's better than me. I played softball for a while, and I don't even think I got it.
I would sit on the outfield
anything?
and pick clovers.
It's you would do that because you were tiny. I would get like
Pummeled by softballs, which
and then I'd get
are not
hit
very
by
soft,
softballs.
I'll tell you.
No,
They're
People
just
talk about-
really big.
Bit of a misleading
they're
name.
easier to hit, and they're easier to hit you by proxy.
If you've ever gotten a welt from a softball, I'll tell you they aren't very soft.
Ouch!
Yeah.
They do stink.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I can say that I tried playing softball. Those days
So
are
the
behind
thing
me.
that
I'll play it
Luigi
intramurally.
runs straight
I'm gonna
into-
stink, but I'll have fun on the field.
So the thing that Luigi runs to is Kamek.
Well, the Magic Koopa.
Well, it's a Magic
was gonna
Koopa.
say
It
Magic
might
Koopa.
be Weisenheimer from a previous
Doubt
episode.
it's him.
I don't know. It's just some random Koopa.
There's
in
more
the
than one
forest.
Magic Koopa in the world.
Kamek is a girl, right?
No.
Canonical. Oh, I thought Kamek was a girl
Canonically,
in the Mario
Kamek's a
series.
guy.
You're thinking
Oh, okay.
Camilla, which is the old
Maybe.
lady
Or Cammy.
who coughs.
I don't know.
That's Cammy.
I don't
Yeah, that's
remember.
Cammy.
All I know is that didn't Kamek raise Bowser?
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in more modern Mario
Yeah, that's modern Mario.
canon, it's that there's one Magic Koopa they don't look different than the rest, but they're just higher above the
He's
rest.
like in charge of everybody.
Yeah. And their
And
name
that's
is
Kamek.
Kamek. And Kamek is like he's basically Bowser's father figure. He had to raise Bowser because he was left alone for
He's
unknown
currently
reasons.
helping Bowser with raising Junior.
Yeah. And kind of with Magic Koopa management. For more on that, you should either play or watch the Bowser's Inside Story side game, the Junior's Journey. It's actually really good.
It's so good.
It fixes a lot of the gameplay problems that I think you had with Bowser's minions in the Superstar Saga remake.
It's hard to go back to Bowser's Minions after playing Bowser Jr.'s Journey. It's just so much better.
Yeah. What you gonna do? But the story actually goes somewhere. And it's like, are we seeing growth in my Mario game? What's going on?
We gotta get back to the story, egghead.
Yeah.
Same to you, egg face.
What are you calling
Like a memed line there.
Who's an egghead?
Egghead's Eggman. No!
Eggman.
It's no egg. Oh, I thought it was egghead.
No, it's
No, yeah,
Egghead,
they call him
Egg
Egghead.
Face, but you don't
Face,
have to go
Egghead.
too far to get Eggman from
True,
those two lines. So for some reason, this whole scenario, it reminds maybe I'm just in a Captain Underpants mood, but it reminds me of something that you would see in Captain Underpants.
I love Captain
They
Underpants.
does.
Insulting somebody with a certain phrase, and they do it so much that it becomes real. Like they can't
Oh,
get
man.
over calling the Miss Ripple the wedgie woman or whatever, and then suddenly she becomes the wedgie woman, and it's like, why?
Oops.
Why does this happen? No.
Oh, I love those books.
I was thinking back to Captain Underpants because that movie is turning 5 this year.
5. I saw that in cinemas.
I did too.
Oh my god.
I saw it multiple times. In
Yeah.
That was a good movie. I like
Oh,
that.
It is
was
a
enjoyable.
bona fide.
over there.
Honestly, it's also one of those movies that when you think about it, it's really small in scope because really the only locations
Yeah.
are George and Harold's houses, the tree house, the whole
The
school, a
Mr.
few
Krupp's house.
Mr. Krupp's house,
Well-
a few town shots, and that's really it. It's a very small scope
Yeah.
movie, and
It's
it
all you
actually had a
need.
lower relatively budget compared to other DreamWorks movies, but it really pushes its boundaries, and it's like I love whenever they'll do 2D stuff or they go to sock puppets or
Mm.
clay It's like, this is just fun. We're just
They did
moving
fun
Yeah.
around.
Expedia stuff.
I really like the art style of that movie. I think they captured
Yeah.
like the feel of the books really
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know, it's just really great.
Nostalgia for
I
those
also
books.
like the voices. It was a little awkward to have adults voicing
Yeah.
kids at first, but I don't know, it works
They do
out.
okay.
Yeah.
Kevin
They
Hart
do a
works
good job.
out as George Beard. Put your hand down, Mr. Krupp, or we'll hypnotize you. And also the freaky thing that the Onceler was Captain Underpants. I think he fully redeemed himself, but he did also undergo Oncelerization again. For more on that, watch his Sarah Zed video called That's About the Onceler. It'll give you more context. Anyways, we keep getting distracted because what happens is Luigi retorts back the egg face, and then the Magic Koopa yells, well, guess what? You are a literal egg now. Egg.
Now you are an egg. I'm going to enjoy an egg.
You are.
And
You
while
will be
he's
an egg.
You
and
are.
while he's laughing at Luigi's misfortune, he gets clonked by the football.
I like how it came
He
back.
doesn't
It wasn't
even have
just-
time to gloat until he
Well,
just
he
gets
kind of
whacked
does.
by
He's
the
like,
football.
how do you feel about that egg? And then the egg doesn't say anything because it's an egg.
Haha, I'm gonna laugh at my own joke now.
Ow! And he gets clobbered. So the Koopalings just kind of watch this happen and they're like, whoa, Luigi's...
Guess Luigi's an egg now. We should probably tell Dad.
Let's tell Dad about the egg now. Oh no, but there's Mario!
Mario Brothers.
They both really slur the Mario.
I just
in
love
this.
how Bully is all over stealing Cheatsy's ideas, and Cheatsy's just so used to it, he's not even commentating on it.
I mean,
like,
after
yeah, okay,
Mario
whatever.
3, it's just he's come to enlighten himself and be okay with it. So, Yoshi will find the touchdown. He's like running and he's like, "Where's the touchdown? Gotta get to the touchdown!" And he sees
Yoshi,
an oval-shaped
run!
object, and he grabs the Luigi
Yoshi-
egg.
Yoshi is
Which he thinks is the
colorblind.
football.
I think this should be taken as canon evidence that Yoshi is fucking colorblind. Because how can you not
Everyone's
tell that a green with
Spotty
white
egg.
spot egg? How can you not
They're
tell
like
that
the
it's not a
same
brown
shade.
ball?
I think this is Yoshi's
Yoshi's
early
just
years, where he's only really noticing things by shape and not color, texture, other good identifying factors.
Just shape.
Also, something weird to think
Like in
about.
Sesame
Do you
Street when they do that one of these things, it's not like the other song.
Do you think the Luigi egg? Do you think it's very warm? Body heat warm?
I don't want to think about that.
Eggs
There's a lot of things in this episode I don't want to think about, like
Okay,
how
things.
Luigi carries the egg in his mouth for a long time.
Can I propose a different question?
Okay.
What would happen if you cracked open the egg?
I think his
Would it be a
brains.
yolk, or would it be like a fetus Luigi?
I think it'd be a yolk, and the yolk would be representative
I'm
of
just thinking
fetus
of the
Luigi.
PG thing.
Which
The little whale fetus in the sink. And PT,
What? No, I've got no idea
when
about
you go
PT.
in the bathroom and there's that little fetus talking
That
in the sink.
spooky game. I couldn't watch
And
Game Girls
it's
play
like
it.
questioning the laws of the universe or something. It's just really goofy.
Okay. Anyways, there's also a lot of plot explanatoriness because Yoshi is going to find that touchdown and he
No,
goes into
given
the
how many
fight.
times they explain the plot, I still don't know what's going on.
Because Cheatsy and Bully, they just have this bad habit of being like, look, now Yoshi's going to this location, and we're going to go to that location too, and then we're going to do
We're
this
gonna
thing.
exposition everything so that everyone knows everything all the time, including the
But
Mario
they
Bros,
show
who we
it
probably should have kept this
anyways.
a secret, but whatever.
It's that tell don't show, but they're showing and telling. It's very awkward. And
Hey,
it feels
look,
a lot
Yoshi
like
is
Buffer.
running into the pipe that leads straight to the Neon Castle. We should go into the pipe that leads to the Neon Castle so we can go to the Neon Castle. And then
When
they
you
jump
phrase
in
it
the
like
pipe.
that, it's now sounding like a lot of padding. Where Kristoff, this is his first episode, and he's like, I'm gonna milk these 11 minutes for all they're worth.
Maybe he meant to
Christopher.
do more football stuff, and they're like, we don't have that in the budget. And he was like, oh, I guess they can just talk about it then.
Fine, we'll talk about the football. Anyways, so they all they go into the pipe and then they get immediately tackled by football players, and then we get more
I was
exposition.
kind of wondering why they decided on football for this episode, but then I remembered that there were football players
existed
that were
charging
introduced, charging chucks that were introduced into Mario World, which is why they probably went with football, and makes me even more curious on why there has never been an American Mario football game.
Strikers is the closest you're gonna get. It would be Mario and Sonic with rugby.
True.
When I was watching this, I was like, yeah, it's kind of weird to me that they haven't done an American rules Mario football yet.
We did have Charge and Chuck and Mario Golf.
Yeah, that's funny.
Same thing, pretty much. No,
I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a ball and you get it to the touchdown.
And he always uses a driver club, right? I don't remember. You played the story mode.
I haven't completed the story mode. I meant to do that, though.
It's probably just because American rules football isn't very popular in Japan.
Whereas, very understandable.
It's not really popular anywhere outside of America. Just like Australian rules isn't popular outside of Australia.
Mm-hmm.
I know baseball and soccer are pretty big over there. That's why the main two.
There's a lot of really famous Japanese baseball players.
Yeah, and I'm not sure about tennis and.
I mean, I'm just thinking to Wii Sports. If they're in Wii Sports, they're probably popular in Japan.
True.
Tennis has Prince of Tennis.
True. I want to read that.
I'm equating everything to. Does it have a sports anime?
Yeah, is there a sports manga for it? There's a lot of basketball sports manga. There's
Haikyuu.
There's no Mario Lacrosse.
Real Slam Dunk.
No Mario Cricket.
Mario Cricket. When do we get to a
Mario Equestrian. That's actually Cheatsy's specialty in the Mario and Sonic games.
You know what I am? A good horseback rider.
I loved the equestrian mini games in Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games 2012
the anime
London
horses.
thing.
Yeah, they were introduced in London, and then they came back for Rio, and I think Tokyo. I've got to play that Tokyo game.
We do own Tokyo.
I know.
I've never played any other Olympic games other than 2012, the London.
I've heard
the music in the Rio
good.
One was fantastic.
I loved the party mode. That was
yes.
My experience with that was the closest experience to a Mario Party I had growing up. Was the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games party mode, and it was fun. It's fun. It's really good.
I mean, as so long as you know what you're doing and having fun. I'd say another surprisingly good Mario and Sonic game is the winter one. It was for Vancouver on the DS. That one was really good because I got a friend, she lent it to me. She's like, I can't beat this level at the beginning. Can you do it for me? And I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. And suddenly I'm just getting engaged in the game. And I'm like, what the? This is fun. And the story mode is interesting because it's also fun in that you'll get Olympic memorabilia by asking Rouge to go find it for you. And it's like, what's happening here?
It's fun to just have the interactions between the Mario and Sonic characters.
Is that too? It's like they pick fun cast. Keep getting distracted. I am very sorry.
No, that's all right.
It really speaks to this episode.
But there's just a lot of that's not a football, that's Neg. And that's not Neg, that's Luigi. Your brother's been turned into an egg, Mario. How do you feel about
I don't know why we're telling you this, but I guess we're just doing a victory lap at this point.
Whatever.
So
you're clearly caught forever.
Don't Cheatsy and Bully start chasing Mario and Yoshi?
Well, they've already been caught by the football players, so there's no...
Right, so they went into the pipe already. Okay.
Right. So they got reported?
They're so bad with directions. That I literally wrote in my notes, Mario and Yoshi are very dumb when it comes to directions, and in brackets, I've compared them to Zorro and Leon.
Okay.
Because of how... they walked straight into a pipe that leads to the enemy's home.
They weren't thinking.
Lucky.
Head was empty.
I don't know, man. They can't map out all these tunnels. There's too many.
Anyways, Cheatsy has now decided
Maybe
he's
they're
gonna go.
Maybe they're stuck in Dinosaur World because they lost the pipe that gets them back to the Bush Kingdom.
True.
They'll go into any pipe at this rate.
So they've just decided to stay here for now. Toad's
Maybe
in charge
so.
back home.
They're in condition in charge. So, Cheatsy is reporting to Dad all of the things that he has learned. And King
my
Koopa
God.
is much like me. He's taken a big old nap.
In his royal pink bed.
Yes. So Cheatsy just walks into the room, and for some reason, his voice is now suddenly sounding like Delete from Cyber Chase. I don't know what was up with that, but he just walks in and he's like, "Guess what, Dad? I did all these things." "What's that, Dad?" "Your snoring says that I can do whatever I want and abuse your lack of knowledge on the
That I'm
situation."
the number one son.
You're saying that I am the number one son? That's so great to hear.
I'm better than both Bully and Big Mouth. Why, thank you, Dad.
I'll go tell them that you said that right away. And Koopa's just asleep.
He's out of it.
I think it's also funny that the 2 episodes we get you on Mettadox, King Koopa is asleep.
He is drowsy, man. He's very
But he doesn't even
sleepy.
wake up in this one.
Maybe after Rock TV,
He's just
it is-
sleeping through it.
He put all of his effort into Rock TV, and then
Now
he's
he's
like,
just
I gotta go back to bed."
asleep.
He had a one hell of a night at the pub last night, and he's just recovering.
He went to the milk bar.
He went to the milk bar.
I'll
went into
take
Termina,
milk.
had a drink
I
with-
got all
had a
these
drink with
kids.
Link.
And these weird dinosaurs, I don't...
Cave people haven't invented toilets. I can't even go to the bathroom in peace.
Gotta pee in the hole in the ground. Anyways, so we go to back to the jail cell where Yoshi and Mario are, and Yoshi's just he's in a
Poor
catatonic
Yoshi.
state of just afraid. But Mario is like, all right, what's going on here? So Cheatsy lets
Mario
them know
Shank
that
Redemption.
there's a great Koopa tradition of football. And as he's saying this, there's a bunch of weirdly shaped enemies behind him.
It's so weird. Like, it's one of those
The
chestnut
tradition.
Goombas. I forget what they're called every single time they
Galoombas?
show up. Yeah, Galoombas.
Galoombas. Galoombas.
So they aren't
That's so fun to say.
Goombas, they're Galoombas.
And we
And-
do see a ninja.
We get some ninjas, and they still have their old design of when they thought the buttons on their chest were teeth.
So
Righto.
weird. I don't know.
God,
Then
I
there's
hate it.
some weird
And there's some
diddlies.
Boo Diddleys who are making weird faces, and it's just like, God.
I'm done.
There
with
was really
this.
no budget spared.
This all happens, so they let him know that they're going to be playing football in however long it takes Cheatsy to just decide that they're
They're
playing
like,
football.
if we win, we get to torture you. If you win, nothing will happen because you're already captured and we don't care.
We're just gonna. So
We're just making a
lose-lose.
victory lap at this point.
Win for everyone involved. So Mario starts pacing and he's thinking so hard. He's moving like Alucard in Castlevania Symphony of the Night, where it's like his there's like a little silhouette echoing behind him as he paces back and forth. It's
He's
so weird.
"All
I'm
right,
like,
I
is
gotta
it the
start
video?
making diagrams for how you and me are going to take on an
Oh.
entire football team.
Yeah, Mario says, "What's this kingdom coming to? That we have to do this? This is torture."
Oh,
What is
playing
Mario
football, it's
talking about?
It was
torture.
ahead of its time.
Now that Luigi's out of the
Kingdom
picture,
coming
Mario's
to.
like, I've got to get the thinky brain. What's this world coming to?
I don't want to
What?
think.
I guess I'll
Meanwhile,
just...
Cheatsy is once again watching what Mario's doing because he is
cannot stop.
the emperor of eavesdropping.
He looks right to the camera and lets us know. Also, I like how Cheatsy was indoors and then suddenly he's outdoors and eavesdropping.
Just so he can eavesdrop.
It
He
is...
ran really fast.
Cheatsy, it is to the point where he's doing this so much that's like, Cheatsy, this is turning into a problem. How much you feel the need.
Cheats.
Now
To
you're just a
eavesdrop.
stalker.
You're just
Yeah.
a creep.
He's taking it to the next level.
Yes. to an uncomfortable amount of
His dad's too
eavesdropping.
passed out to drag him back.
He
Why is he
cheated
even
his
eavesdropping
dad.
in on them in the first place? It's not like they're saying anything useful.
I thought that it was that he wanted to look in and see the diagrams that Mario was creating and then steal those to use against Mario.
But Mario's diagrams are
Yeah.
just for him and Yoshi, and probably
Well,
mostly just him because Yoshi wasn't going to do
He
much.
could look at the wall and get an idea of what football
What they were doing, and they
even
could
was.
strategize against it.
There you
I
go.
don't know.
Like, I get what
It's
they were
really
trying to go
weird.
for, but it's just so one-sided that's like, there's no point.
It's so
They're all
very
Yeah.
one-sided. So they're entering the field, and Mario's just turned into the motivational coach. He's like, "All right, Yoshi, listen, we've got all of the odds against us, but it's not about winning. It's about how you play the game, and it's just all about fun. So just have fun out there, Yoshi, and we're gonna be great." And then Yoshi's like, "No, Mario, we're gonna
We're
die."
screwed.
Luigi will be horrifically murdered if we don't win.
If we-
If we so
matters.
much as look at that egg the wrong way, Luigi's dead.
He's gonna be scrambled.
He's gonna be scrambled and cannibalized. Jesus.
So scary. It also reminds me, this episode does, of Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, where at the very end of the episode, you could tell that they weren't allowed to say the words "died" on TV.
Yeah.
Or death or kill. So at the very end, it's like half of the lines coming out of people's words are, "We're going to destroy the people. They're going to be destroyed." It's like
It's
it's
funny.
scrambled just a way of
do
Yoshi
say-
saying
They
die.
do say die in this episode.
They say death,
He
but they
says-
don't
he says-
say
no.
die.
He says
die.
do or die. It's
Okay.
do or die. I think it was Cheatsy or I forget who it was. Who was like,
Bully.
it might have been Bully. Whoever was in the middle of the field going, "Oh, this is how it's gonna go. These are the
Oh, right,
people's."
'cause they get Big
yeah.
Mouth in to narrate again because
He's
they
Yeah.
just
the
love
number
having
one hype man.
And
Big
like,
Mouth to
who's
be the hype man.
dying? This is Mario. Who's dying? Jesus
It
Christ.
makes me think of the one Ultimate Spider-Man episode with Deadpool, where they had to really PG down Deadpool, and he's
Yeah.
like,
Gotta
"We're gonna go unalive
K-word.
them," and they're like, "Unalive," and he's like, "Look, I can't say the K word. It's a kid show."
And that's the other thing. It's also like in YouTube when people don't want to get demonetized, they're like, the not being alive. They're going to not be alive and
We're
drink
going
the
to
not.
Sleep.
the Backstreet Boys reunion tour.
The forever sleep.
They're
We're going to the Shadow Realm.
It's so funny to censor death for children.
That's
Anyways.
horrifying. The Shadow Realm is more horrifying than death.
I mean, it's purgatory.
True.
It's
It's
worse than
worse
death.
than death.
And also, it's kind of what original Yu-Gi-Oh was going for. I'm one
Mhm.
of the small minority that likes original Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0, as it's called, more than card game Yu-Gi-Oh!
It is
Yeah.
interesting. I always
more
think back
about
to the
games
first
as
episode
a
with the lighter on
concept.
his thumb.
That's a second episode, actually. The
I
first
do-
episode
Sorry.
is the one with the bully who's like
Oh,
cheating him
yeah,
out of
that
money, and then he like covers himself in money, and in the real world he's just playing in the leaves, and he's like, "So much money," and everyone's like, "What is wrong with him?" And it's like,
Yeah.
his punishment is to be like in eternal purgatory. Hot dang.
Speaking
I
of
have heard a
eternal
lot
purgatory, Big Mouth is here.
And he's really got to talk things up. He's like, nobody even likes Mario and Yoshi. And also, big shout out to Luigi the Egg. We couldn't be doing this without Luigi
So
the
he
Egg.
name drops the Koopa team when they are called lovingly the Koopa Carcass Crushers. Because we can definitely say the word
Intense
carcass
name.
with a K.
It's like venison.
It's with a
It's
K.
cool to say venison.
Yeah.
Big Mouth just will not stop talking, and so then Big Mouth gives one of the funny lines that I didn't
A bully
realize was
does.
from Big Mouth. Sorry, bully. I'm confusing my bees. He walks up to Big Mouth and
He goes, shut up! We'll never get started. No, you got me started.
I actually laughed at that. I thought that was pretty funny.
If I
'Cause
could
it's
go
like-
back
He
to
really
the moment I
stretches.
got started.
In most sports, it does take forever for them to shut up and get on with it.
It's true.
Like-
I have a feeling
Pre-game
that with the
is
Olympics-
just as long as
Ridiculous.
regular game.
I just thought it was like a funny like
Call out?
jab. Yeah, it was a funny jab at sports in general, not just football.
Yeah.
Because they fucking take so long.
Well, it's
um,
true. Really, half of the party is pre-game, and the other half is post-game. Or it's
Yeah.
And halftime show.
the halftime show, which is, of course, more like talking about football. It's better to talk about it than actually see it happen.
Mm.
I don't know how football works, man. I just see people on TV.
It's just people running around with balls
And
on
they
a
call
field
out
and
as many
killing
timeouts
each
as
other.
possible at the end, so you can't go home. And the timer just the seconds tick by as you're just desperately waiting for it to
They gotta
end.
make
So,
a nail
unfortunately
biter.
for
It's-
Mario, he's
Mhm.
incredibly outnumbered because it's 2v1 or 2v3.
Yeah,
Sorry,
2v3.
2v3.
And
And-
Yoshi's
And Mario's like, this is totally unfair. I'm like, look, they could make this even more unfair, man.
It could be like 20 to 10, 20 to 2.
and then Yoshi just straight up vores one of the opponents.
Yoshi
even out
makes
the
things
numbers.
fair by eating somebody.
Although he doesn't want to eat him because he tastes like sweatband.
Sweatband.
The way he says it, it's so weird.
I didn't know what he
Sweatband.
said at first, and I'm like, tastes like sweat. What?
I'm sorry, what?
I did notice that he
What?
spit out the football player because it's a slight theory we have that Yoshi is more vegetarian because we haven't really seen him eat any like talking.
He's an
people-
insectivore because he eats the Wigglers, but he won't eat Magic Koopas or Goombas or
Koopas.
yeah.
He won't do
Do
that.
Goombas talk in this show?
No. Which
Not in
makes
this.
the wheel
What?
thing so much worse because
Then
they're
they're just
because they
mushrooms
get
with
put to
faces.
work like indentured servants to run cars.
They talk in the
That's
original and in 3, I think.
I don't remember them talking.
They
in
at least
3.
make noises.
Meh, 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 meh.
Yeah.
Anywho, Cheatsy's now playing Ace Attorney because Mario
Objection!
calls him. He goes, "Objection, overruled." All these things.
I really wanted someone to go wrong type of judge, but okay.
Whatever. So they get
We're
playing
playing with Australian rules.
because Mario starts running, and then Bully just like
Straight
pounds
up
him to the
tackles.
ground, and then Mario's just so disgruntled.
Bluffing.
Like, what is this?
Australian rules. Yeah, I'm trying to put you down under. 6 feet down under. I like that. As an Australian, I appreciate that joke. I thought
I
it was
did
good.
not remember that joke was in here at all.
Me
and I
neither.
was
And I'm like, hey,
thinking,
it was perfect that
Uh,
we got Mettadox for this episode.
I know.
And one of the it was either had to be me or Drew or Bryce.
It's true. We
God.
had to get one.
You had to get an Australian in, otherwise it wouldn't
I
work.
know.
You wouldn't be able to post it.
And it continues, and then Mario's like, Yoshi, please, throw it soft. And don't use your mouth. That's gross. Use your hands. Wash your hands.
Don't put him in your mouth.
All this stuff. And then it's like they keep playing, and then Bully and Mario get into another argument. And they're arguing kind of like swing rules in Mario Tennis. Where you go,
True.
that was in. That was in.
No, that was out. That was out. Totally out.
And then you can fight it.
Boy.
That is honestly one of the funnest modes is swing mode, where you just
Yeah.
fight over stuff, and then sometimes you are correct in that it was the way it was called incorrectly, and you're like, yeah, that's right, it
is really
wasn't. Just gotta argue like that. So the music suddenly starts. Because
Because
Mario
Yoshi will try. Past play.
yeah, they will hickety huck huck hike. Ba, ba, ba.
Yeah, I don't know anything about these football terms.
Either way, they start singing, and it's like, oh no, it's more Koopaling songs.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's great. So then this music starts, and then Mario and Yoshi decide they've had enough of this, and they just peace on out of
Screw
there.
Luigi. We're just
Just
leaving.
get out of
So Yoshi like grabs Luigi to like in his mouth. I'm assuming he was supposed to be stored in the mouth, but we don't see that. And then Mario just hops onto Yoshi's back, and they just start piecing out.
Keeping him in his gullet for later.
But then they do turn around because they start leaving, but then they get an invincibility star, and they start coming back. And the cardboard Koopalings are standing in front, being like, "No, you can't do it." And
it makes me think of the bit from Mario Color Splash where they're like, "And now Mario is cheating by using performance-enhancing power-ups."
What was that? What fight was that in?
It's in the Coliseum with Iggy.
Okay.
It's that you have to fight like all of these enemies, and you're like, "What am I gonna do?" And then you find a invincibility star in a crate, and then just murder everybody.
But Mario, just for posterity's sake, he wants that touchdown. So he does a sweet dance. I really like Mario's dance. It was
they saved all of the budget for this celebration dance.
This man just grabbed a star, murdered a bunch of their enemies, just straight up killed a bunch of them, and then starts breakdancing on the try line.
It's great,
dancing over their dead bodies. Yoshi starts
moonwalking,
and it's like, why moonwalking?
So Mario's a psychopath.
Game theory?
Hey, Matt, we got a thing for you.
We're getting a 5-yard penalty for excessive demonstration.
To me, that just sounds like excessive, like inappropriate demonstration. No. Either way, this continues, and then Mario's got this like big zinger of a line as he's leaving, and he's like, "Yeah, the only penalty I care about is da 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 da," and he like opens the doors like a boss, and there's more football players, and he's like immediately caught off guard.
He's like, "Yep, I regret that.
I should have saved my line for when we were actually gone."
But luckily for Mario and Yoshi, there's
the cave people have somehow learned teamwork despite
the doofus caveman came back.
Despite not actually playing any football, they've learned how to play football.
To me, this is kind of funny because it's like, as far as the cave people were concerned, Mario and Yoshi and Luigi just went running, and they just never came back. So they're like, let's go search for them. And they do explain it. They follow Koopaling footprints because apparently Bully's heavy set and he leaves big footprints in the ground. I don't know.
His big meaty claws.
Sure.
His big meaty feet. So then Bully says, "Oh yeah, I leave footprints all right on your face." Faces for dinner.
Bully's got a lot of good singers. That's all he's got going for him.
Football people, they just now know how to play football. Maybe, you know what, they learned the important things. The tackle and the
Mario
touchdown.
tries to like bring this all around to some sort of moral, like, "Oh yes, we've all learned teamwork or something." And I'm like, I forgot that was even part of this episode.
Okay, so we leave the Neon Castle, the Coney Island.
This episode wasn't about football and eggs.
We leave. And then Mario is like, "Hey, wait a minute. We had a moral or something, didn't we? All right, gang, let's move out and try and remember."
The way they phrase it is that they're gonna team up and use their power of teamwork to look for Luigi, and I'm like,
their power of multiple
he's the
eyeballs.
egg.
No, weren't they retracing where Luigi went to see if they could find out like how
why
to
he
turn
turned
him back?
into an egg?
Yeah, why he
randomly.
turned into an egg. And then one of the doofus cavemen found the
I just
before
love
that,
the cavemen because
there's
they're like,
two
we'll
of
walk in
them.
a straight line. There's 3 of them.
no swerving.
No swerving.
No swerving.
They do that Oblivion meme where you walk into a wall and you keep walking.
They just walk
keep
straight into the
walking.
tree and he's keep walking. One of them walks
He's
into a
going
pit and he's
places.
still walking.
Cool
And
boy.
one of them just randomly happens upon the wand. He's like, "Oh, I found something."
Which I guess the Magic Koopa is just, he never came back for their wine.
Yeah.
I don't
Maybe
know.
he's still passed
No,
out on the ground.
He's dead.
Look, those
Everybody
balls
just
are
kind of
soft.
walked around his corpse.
Yoshi's just got such a good throw that he knocked him clean out.
Woo!
with
Walk
with
around his
the ball.
carcass, if you will.
So we get the wand, and Amara's like, all right, Yoshi, careful, but procure the Luigi egg. And then Yoshi procures the Luigi egg, and the cave people see an oval, and they're like, football!
Oh!
Oh! And they go to like jump on it, but very quickly Mario zaps Luigi back to his original self, and then immediately he's like squashed by 3 people, and then Yoshi gives him a little lick on the face, like a little pet.
Apparently, they hit him so hard he gets a concussion.
Poor Luigi!
What happened? Did I
Did I
catch
get
the ball?
And then I
I'm
like
cross-eyed.
You were the ball.
I really like that line from Mario because he does his own little wheeze. You catch the ball. You were the ball.
And
Dang,
Luigi's
was
like,
picking up from the
"What?
good. It is.
I don't get it.
We ended the episode with a cross-eyed, sad-looking Luigi. It's like this is no
He's
way to
gotta
end the
It's just like,
episode.
what?
Supporting my theory of Mario being a psychopath. Luigi just woke up from his fetus inside of egg state.
Yeah.
I think this is payback for
How is he gonna remember that?
fucking the
And Mario's
football
like,
at Mario from earlier.
you doofus, you were the ball.
Well, it's one of those interesting concepts. If you get turned into an object, do you retain memories when you were the object?
Because eggs
Well,
have
no,
no
'cause you don't-
sensory stimulation, so
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
no.
there's no way
So that's-
Luigi would actually know what's going on.
The answer there is no.
Even if they did have sensory stimulation,
Yeah, like
there would be, if he didn't have like the proper like brain functions to store that, he wouldn't remember it. It would just be, oh, this is happening to me now, and then poof, it's gone. He's like goldfish.
he blacked out. He saw
He
Magic
blacks out
Koopa,
for
and
3
then
seconds.
he blacked out, and he's like, "What,
Huh?
Mario? What are
What?
you doing here? Where'd the Magic Koopa go?"
I
I
made
feel
a
bad.
football, right?
I mean, I give
feel-
the psychopath theory credence if after Luigi said that, Mario started laughing, and everyone else did too, laughing at his
Yeah.
misery.
They do love to end episodes like that.
Well,
I
they
don't
could be
know.
laughing. They could be laughing. We don't know because the episode just ends there.
It does. So
It just kind of
Right.
fades out on Luigi looking confused, like, what's going
Yeah.
on? Where'd the
Don't
episode
do my
go?
man's Luigi dirty like that. God.
So this kind of happens. Oh no,
The
Craig
trickiest
just-
part.
shoot.
Of the episode, deciding on who the heck is going to be the MVP.
I don't. Peach,
I
who are
don't
you thinking?
know.
You don't got anyone either.
Mm.
I'll give it to Mario.
Mario had some zingers.
He had some fun zinging
He had some
lines.
good
I liked
zingers.
the line reads of "No, Yoshi, stop. Yoshi, please, no, come back, Yoshi."
That
You
was
know what?
funny.
I'm gonna give the MVP to Luigi. He's a fucking trooper. He was being tossed
He
around.
made that football.
Chiseled
made
a football
footballs.
from memory.
he got disrespected by getting turned into an egg,
He did.
thrown around, and then is immediately harassed as soon as he gets uneggified.
Very
So
true.
he deserves some praise, I think.
I agree. with
Kind
that.
of leaning towards cheatsy.
Okay.
Cheatsy was
This
funny.
was Cheatsy was like, "This is my episode.
is
my
my
skin
episode."
is flourishing. I will take advantage of that."
Like, yeah, I'm going to be in the rest of these episodes.
I do love his line about "I'm the emperor of eavesdropping."
That line's great. There's this bit
That's a
with
good line.
Can't not
Bowser
eavesdrop.
sleeping. It's great.
I think it was a good, not really, told joke, that Cheatsy was the referee, and I just think that's so well played. That's so smart, because
Like,
they
make
just...
a bunch of
they
jokes
just-
about how he's fair and impartial, and everybody's just looking at him like, really?
It's like, his name is Cheatsy, and it's like, it's such a good joke, because it's like, it doesn't slap you on the face with the punchline, it's just like an offhand comment, and it's like, hang on a minute. If you're paying attention, you'll get it. I think that's brilliant.
It is really good.
All right, I'm going with Cheatsy.
Okay. Well, we're each picking somebody different because they all had little good
Oh.
moments to have. That's why his twin brother Gyark is here from the mirror world to also
Yuck.
record.
Yark needs a scar on his eye.
It's
like dark
gray.
Mettadox. Okay, well, speaking of
Ugh.
Kirby,
We don't have time to unpack that.
we've all got things to do today. So, Mettadox, do you
do.
have anything that you want to plug for yourself or other communities?
This is out of the blue. Listen to the House of Mario.
Yeah.
I was on a few of those episodes. It's good fun. I might be starting up something of my own soon.
What?
I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
But I'm gonna do a podcast about like manga and stuff. Just because I don't really talk about it enough. So that should be fun. I will probably put updates about that on my Twitter once I actually do get around to it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to follow me on Twitter, Mettadox, Mettadox, because some people are illiterate. That's about it.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
Peach, where can people find you in your
find
new
me
art
at-
boom?
Oh, you're jinxing it. But you can find me at peachsupremart.tumblr.com.
Yep, and I'm at delphinodurians.tumblr.com. Outro was composed by Taylor Lair. You can find more of her music at tlair.bandcamp.com. That's T the letter T, Laire.bandcamp.com. She also has a Twitter, but that URL is too long and I don't have it memorized, so go into the description to find that. Also, I somehow forgot to mention this, even though this is an episode with a House of Mario member guest starring in it, but please go donate to Amelia, the House of Mario member's transition costs. There's a GoFundMe linked in the description. Thank you so much. Episodes come out on Mondays, to the best of my ability, on YouTube, and Wednesdays on podcast services.
Yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom.
I'm tired.
We've all got things to do.
We do.
I gotta finish my croissant.
Croissant, I've got to actually do
Croissant.
some work because I took a way too long nap. And Mettadox is going to go hang out with some pals.
Yeah, we're going to the shopping mall.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Are you
Very busy.
aiming for anything in particular?
No, I'm
Okay.
too broke for that. I'm broke. I'm gonna have a look at the manga selection they've got at the bookstore.
Do the nice
but that's about
window
it.
shopping.
That'll be fun.
Baizani.
By what? What?
Baizani.
Paisani.
What is that? What's Baizani? What? I'm confused.
I am confused.
Brother's been turned into an egg, and now these wretched reptiles want us to play football with my brother as the ball. I mean, what's this kingdom coming to? It's a long shot, Yoshi, but I'm going to diagram some plays that just might get us out of here with Luigi.
I am the Emperor of Eavesdropping.